All right, gang, it's Monday. Boo. It is Monday. It's the last Monday in September of 2019. And I have an editorial for you. I have a short one. Here we go. Before I get to it, though, I did want to say about the call last night and the woman that came up to me that was scared, and she really was scared. I can usually tell if a person's being sincere or not. In some cases, I just listen to voice, how they're speaking, tone, body gesture. She was shaking. But I started to think this morning, how many people feel that way? How many people have that sentiment about police that haven't come up to me, that are scared of the cops here and haven't said anything to me? I don't know. And I guess what I'm saying is maybe some community relations need to be improved. Well, they definitely need to be improved with some of these cops. Some of these cops are freaking just bullies. I'm sorry to say that, but I see. I'm on the street, guys, with my camera. I watch. I edit. I study. But we're going to go to Oregon, and this story is kind of why I'm bringing that up. Because I kind of know why that woman was scared. If she thought she was going to jail, she thought, I'm going to get hurt. They're going to do something to me. It's probably what she was thinking. And you could say that based on this editorial this morning. And I want to know what you guys think in the comment section below. In the description box, I'm going to put a link to this whole story. And it comes to us from Oregon. And this is the reason why people are scared when the police come up to them, especially the homeless, especially the mentally ill, and especially people on drugs. This is why they're scared of the police. Because cops don't know how to handle people sometimes. And maybe this guy in the editorial was being aggressive. Maybe he was out of control. Maybe he did need to be restrained. But I will say this. Where were the camera people? Where were the YouTube people who should have been recording this that weren't there? There's a lot of people in Oregon, and I understand they're in Portland. Many of them are in Portland, and it's hard to get down to Salem, which is south of there. But why aren't there any people in Salem that could have recorded this? Somebody needed to record this and put it on YouTube so we know what was going on, what really happened. At this point, we only know what the cops are saying, because only the cops know the truth, and the medics. Comes to us from Oregon Live. Thank you, Oregon Live, for this story, and particularly Brad Schmidt. Thank you, sir, for this story. We're going to make it an editorial for this morning. Oregon State Police are investigating the in-custody death of a man detained by Salem Police Saturday. Officers had been called to the Best Little Roadhouse restaurant at about 9:40 p.m. in response to a man causing a disturbance and trespassing. Salem police say the man resisted officers when they attempted to arrest him. The man continued to struggle with officers after being taken into custody, according to a news release from the agency. Now, the police department is saying this. Once the man was under control, officers called for medics as they believed he was in medical distress. It's not clear how many officers were involved in detaining the man or whether any use of force was involved in the arrest. It's also not clear how much time elapsed before medics were called. If someone had been there recording for YouTube, we would have these answers, pretty much solved. Maybe not all of them, but we would have at least how much time elapsed before the medics arrived, how many officers were on the guy, what was going on. We would have that had we had a cop watcher out there recording. Lieutenant Treven Upkees, a police spokesman, didn't immediately respond to questions on Sunday. Medics took the man for treatment at Salem Health, where he was later pronounced dead, according to police. His identity and cause of death are being determined, the police said. Salem policy calls for the Oregon State Police to investigate in-custody deaths. We investigated our own, and we found no fault. That's just me saying that. That's not they haven't come to the disposition yet. The city said additional information would be released by state police. Yeah. They're going to tell us what they want us to know. Captain Tim Fox, a state police spokesman, declined to answer questions about the incident, but he said the agency will be working with the Marion County District Attorney's Office and may release more information on Monday. That's today. An undisclosed number of Salem officers involved in the incident are on administrative leave. Same thing. During the investigation, as is required under city policy. No officer was seriously injured, police said, according to Brad Schmidt. Thank you for that story. And that is why that lady came up to me crying last night. That is why people are scared of the police. They're scared of dying in custody. Now, they're not giving a whole lot of information here, and there's a couple other stories on this, and they're not giving information in them either. It's just that basically they're kind of saying the same thing. You know how news stories go. You read ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, headline news, and they all have the same story. It's kind of what's going on here. They're not giving a whole lot of information, and I wonder if it's because it's an oops, we screwed up, zip, loose lip sink ships. I wonder if it's one of those. I mean, it's a hypothesis only, but you never know. They're not saying anything. They're not saying a lot. They're saying, well, we are investigating. Yeah, the police are investigating the police. That's what's happening. We need a city community, it escapes me, a board here from the community, people in the community to investigate this and find out what's going on. They need to be appointed by the mayor. Something needs to go and happen in Salem, Oregon. Because this guy died in custody and no cop watchers were there to record it. Shame, shame, shame on us for not being there. Community Leo Watch. Watching Leos, and I got to go because I'm running out of time. But I'm watching Leos out there in the community for the community and seeing what they're doing and making sure that they're behaving themselves. They're not always, but in a lot of cases they are. I will give props to those officers that are just trying to be professional and do their job. Hey, you guys should get props. But for those of you who are out there messing up, and particularly for these guys, I don't know if these guys did right or wrong, but apparently they're not saying there's even body camera. We don't know what happened. So I'm going to stand on the fact that you guys allowed someone to die in custody. I don't know. Inquiring minds want to know, and we are inquiring. Community Leo Watch, watching them Leos and let you know what's going on across your nation with law enforcement officers everywhere, particularly Salem, Oregon. Thank you. Happy Monday, and I will be giving you an editorial all week as much as I can.